Back with another episode of the Randy Wilson Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Wilson. This is episode 79, and we back today with a brand, NameBrand, one of the curators behind the Purple Republic Music Group, one part of the AGM, and one of Richmond's own, known for definitely being one of the best producers coming out of Richmond. You could arguably say Virginia. We're going to get familiar with him, but before we do, let's take care of a little bit of business. Make sure you go over and subscribe to the channel. I've been trying to get 14 new followers on Instagram. On YouTube for like 4 or 5 months now to help me get that 1,000 so I can get that $3.12 check. So if y'all can't help me get over there and get them other 14 followers and go see my man NameBrand, I don't know, man. It's extremely bothersome here. Help me out. I need a little check. This podcast can be shown everywhere podcasts are, everywhere. But I suggest you go over to RandyWilsonPodcast.com if you want to hear the audio. Go to YouTube if you want to check the video. And yeah, get familiar with the show. Get familiar with the brand. But today we talking about NameBrand. Peace, brother. What's good with you?
Peace. Thanks for having me, bro. I've been looking forward to doing it. I was hoping that we could do this live, man. Like, in person.
Well, don't mean we can. Let me put it out there. I want to do something live, man. I'm not gonna lie.
But I bet.
Really want to do though? You know what I really want to do? I want to get the whole collective together. That's what I really want to do, man.
Yo, I mean, we can set that up. We can definitely set that up.
Well, hey, we can.
I think that would be good.
You can make that happen a lot better, man. Y'all got some. I mentioned it to Michael one time too. Well, no, radio said, look, radio was like, I'm not the problem. You know I'm ready. So I already know, like, you got to catch Michael and Nick when they at a time where they wanted, and but yo, I put it out there, man, because like I'm a big supporter of AGM, you know what I'm saying? So I don't mind being an honorary podcast member of the collective so we can really get this thing going, because I missed the show. I missed the podcast anyway, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's something that we've been talking about bringing back the podcast for sure. So I mean, I just think once Mike's working on a lot of music. He's working on a lot of music. F is working on a lot of music. Radio, he got 1,000,001 things going on. So I mean, but I do feel like between all of us, we all got our things going on, but being able to get us all sit down for an interview would be good. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. Really, look, man, all you gotta do is let me know, man. We'll make that happen. We'll make that happen for sure. We'll make that priority. Love to do it in the anticipation and preparation to Flag on the Moon. Like that would be great.
Yeah.
Even
like
on the stage.
We just need things to hold out. We just need things to hold out. Like, you know what I mean? Because right now, with the way things are with the whole COVID situation, we want to go crazy. We don't want people to have to, hold back, because of the COVID situation. But hopefully, we'll be able to get the Flag on the Moon back popping, because we definitely, as a group, as AGM, we definitely miss doing it due to COVID. We miss, that's an opportunity that we always get once a year to really do something for the city and have a good time as AGM, you know what I mean? And then, just kind of be able to put people in position to rock a dope stage, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we've been missing it for sure. So we understand. It's Flag on the Moon is definitely coming back. Please believe that.
Worst case scenario, man. If they put out any reason why we can't get back into Broadberry, look, we gotta take it outside, man. We
big facts.
We gotta have it this year, man. We got
big facts.
So, hey, Brand, can you tell me the story behind the name?
NameBrand?
Yes, it's a phenomenal name. Give me the story behind that.
So the story behind it, for real, shout out to Illa Scorsese. So we all grew up in Fernbrook. And Illa was one of the first people who I met that, produced are like, and recorded people. Like he had to set up for the neighborhood, so everybody went through there. So Mike was telling me I was working on beats. Mike was like kind of like, yo, you should holler at Illa. So I kind of picked up this. He gave me this software, and then I just started making beats, and we would go back through there. And he was like, yo, you gotta come up with a name, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, he said brand name, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I was thinking name brand, you know what I'm saying? So I just kind of flipped that. And then, you know, I kind of went with it, and it worked, you know what I'm saying? I feel like when you have a name, you know, I feel like, I was just explaining this to somebody the other day, but I feel like when you put your name, like literally, like my name is Brandon, like my name is Brandon. So, you know, I believe in putting your name in things, like, because it's a sign of quality, just kind of like how with the, you know, Rolls Royce, Mercedes, like, you know, like they put, when you open up the hood, you could see who built your engine, you know, they sign their name. Or in Japan, when they're building things, you know what I mean? They write their name on like the scaffolding to let people know, like, this person, you know, put this together. So therefore, you know who to find. So ultimately, it means it's quality. It's like, it's a thing of quality by putting your name on it. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, the whole thing about name brand, like, you know, like when you was in school, you want a name brand clothes, like you want a name brand, you know, polo, whatever. Like you wanted the name brand, and it was just a sign of quality. You know what I mean? So it just kind of works. Again, like I said, my name is Brandon. Just the quality aspect of when it comes to, you know, making music. You know, you want name brand, you know, sneakers, you want name brand beats. It's like, it just makes sense. So, yeah, so that's kind of like how it came about, and, you know, and that's just what it is.
Yo, the community feels that, you know, I mean, you have a reputation for having name brand beats. Like you get a beat produced by name brand, it says something. How easy is it for an artist to get a beat by name brand? Like, I mean, do you send your music out, or do they have to select? Like, how does that happen? Can anybody get a beat from name brand? You know, if they got some trash bars, but they just trying to spin a grip on the bag. I mean, you know, like, yo, they got the bag, you know, do you mind?
I mean,
how's that work?
I mean, I think, yeah, it's definitely not like, I try to work with everybody, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, it's just whether or not I got the time to really work with everybody, because that's really what it is. And I think prior to like this whole, you know, pandemic situation that we're kind of in right now, you know, it was easier, of course, because I could just have people, you know, come by the studio, because I personally don't like sending beats. I hate sending beats out. I feel like when I send beats out, I don't know what mood this person may be in. You know, I don't know what what their life is like in that particular moment. So I don't technically know what to send. You know what I mean? So my whole thing is like, whenever I'm able to get somebody in the studio to like really like go open up my whole catalog. And that's another thing. If I send you some beats, I'm only gonna send you like 5 maybe, you know, but I got a ton of beats back here. You know what I mean? So it's always better, you know, when I can get that particular artist in. So yeah, I mean, no, I don't have like a website or anything like that to where people can buy beats from. Maybe I should do something like that, but I guess I'm old school in the sense of I like that ability to kind of get the artist in the studio.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not opposed to any of that. Like I'm not opposed to the person who puts their beats online. Like I'm definitely entertaining that idea just because of the current situation. Like I think, you know, as a producer, when you're facing a situation like how we are, like where we can't necessarily link up the way we used to, you know, you kind of got to figure out a pivot. You know, how do you pivot in the situation? So that's an option, you know what I mean? So I would be lying if I didn't tell you I hadn't thought about like, okay, let me put up some beats online so I can, you know, engage with more people. But for the most part, I mean, if you want to get a beat from me, it's always hit me in my DM on IG at NameBrand_music. You know, hit me in the DM, you know, email, whatever, you know, however you want to get in contact with me, just holler at me, and, you know, I'm open.
So am I wrong? Am I wrong in this assumption and this is completely assumption. I'm just jumping. I'm just asking, like, is it fair? I'm saying NameBrand's not aggressive about trying to push his music on artists. Like, there's certain artists. There's a particular artist that stands out to me. Excuse me. There's a particular producer that I've interviewed before, right? He got gold, platinum records, but he's intentional about trying to make sure that he puts his music behind artists that he knows that's going to get him that record. Do you make that intentional focus?
No, I think honestly, if you look and listen to my catalog supports the community around here. You know what I'm saying? It supports the community. A lot of my music is, with people in the city, like, and supporting the city. So it's like, but do I had opportunities to do things more or on a, I guess, bigger scale? Yeah, I've had the opportunities and I try to take advantage of them when I can. Mm-hmm. But I feel like my calling so far has been, pushing my local community forward. You know what I mean? Whether that's, when I say local, it's like, I produce probably 80% of, 80 to 90% of Mike's music, his whole catalog, and the stuff that I've done with Nick and the stuff that I've done with Radio, of course. And these are all artists, Ease, Junie Mac, Troy, like
Junie Mac, arguably, I mean, I don't know where I've seen it or I'm hearing it, but like a lot of people in the city think that's the best project of the year.
Yo, I mean, and you know what? I'm like, you got to understand, like, when we connected for that album, it was an honor for me. Like, like, I mean, of course, everybody knows him for, his record, his big record, that he had back in the day. Mm-hmm. But it was always one of those things for me where I really wanted to, like, take an artist like that and then, like, give them a sound. And it just so happened he was looking for the sound that I was providing. And, and we were able to, like, really come up with a really dope project that I think his fans from, the past that knew his music could really appreciate. And I think it was, like, current enough to where he could gain a lot of new fans. So it was like a win-win. And I was very intentional about making sure that whatever we did, it didn't make, people from, who knew Junie Mac from the past, feel like, oh, he forgot about us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's still connected with them.
Yeah.
But you could definitely see, like, the maturation of, him and who he is and where he's at. And he had a lot to talk about, man. Much love and shout out to Junie Mac, man. Like, he put that album, we put that album together in a great way. And shout out to my brother, because, like, I think we started working on that album. He had a few sessions where he came over to the house, and this was, like, just before COVID got crazy. And through those few sessions, I kind of was able to figure out the sound that he was looking for. And then COVID got crazy. At the time, my wife was pregnant. So it was like, I really couldn't have, like, studio sessions at the crib, you know what I mean? So it was, like, really, like, my brother, he kind of stepped in. Well, he records everybody, but, like, he helped really kind of, like, keep that project going along, you know what I'm saying? Like, with the recording, you know what I mean? So, and that's kind of like how we work, at Purple, shout out to Purple Republic, you know what I mean? Like, it's just really me and my brother and two of my homies. And basically me and my brother, we just volley records back and forth. But, we were able to knock out that project. I'm extremely proud of how that project came out. He did his thing, and, we are already talking about working on another one. So, so shout out to Matt. So.
Dope. Yo, for those of you who don't know, NameBrand, Michael Millions, they're brothers. Okay. A lot of you know, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people watching may not know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they don't know. Like, we are legit blood brothers. Like, same mom, same dad, like that type of brother. So yeah.
So this is the thing, like I find to be interesting and what I've learned over the years is, I mean, before I knew that, I only knew of Mike as an artist first. And then, once you get into the layers of him, you see that he has, he's known for the mixing and mastering for a significant percentage of Richmond's records. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And dang, I just recut that scab on my foot. Lord have mercy. Anyway, so explain this to me, man. Like what is the dynamic for you as the brother? First off, who's the big brother?
Mike is.
He's the big brother? Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, explain this dynamic to me, because you are a producer. Mike is not a producer. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, okay. I guess it depends on how you look at that. Like,
well, I can see how he can be an
executive producer. Doesn't necessarily make the beat, but he might give some guidance to the song, and you know, he can get some producer credit. So I'll give Mike that for sure. You know what I mean? But I think we both are like producers in our own right, but he don't make the beat. You know what I mean? That's just not his.
What's that dynamic like though between the two of you? Like, I mean, big brother, little brother. Okay, like, did you ever look at it like, yo, he's stepping into my territory? Did you ever look at it that way? Or did you all look at it inclusively, like we are a team? Your brothers.
Yeah,
your brothers though. Sibling rivalry. Like, you know what I'm saying? He can rap. And I think our next question is like, can you rap on the low? You just don't rap?
Listen. I'll put it like this, yo. If I really were to like take that aspect seriously, I probably would be like really good.
Gotcha.
Like really good. But I don't that's not really my forte, and I'm good at just kind of like chilling in my lane. But I think at the end of the day, like we're trying to push the label, like we pushing the label. And at the time, like when Mike really had to take it over, like keep in mind, so I was we started Purple Republic in 2011. So that was like the very first. So we've been doing our thing for 10 years, you know what I mean? And I had the studio. I had the studio set up, so for the first maybe 5-6 years of that, it was pretty much me doing all the recording, all the mixing, all the mastering. I mean, but that was just because that was just how it was. I had the studio equipment, and then I moved back to Richmond. And when I moved back to Richmond, I didn't have like the space to be able to like really hold sessions. So it ended up being one of those things to where it's like, yo, I don't really have the space to host sessions like that. So we were kind of doing everything at like when I moved back to Richmond, I put everything at my brother's house. And so he had access to the equipment, and it was like, I couldn't be there like, 24/7 at his house, you know what I mean? So it was one of those things where he, had to pick up, like he learned, you know what I'm saying? He got involved with it. The more he got involved with it, the more he liked it. And for me, I'm gonna encourage that, you know what I mean? Because I remember spending hours upon hours of recording. Like, yo, and to me, the recording aspect isn't as fun to me as it is for him. Like, I have more fun with the post-production, you know what I mean? So that's what typically happens. Mike, he'll record the vocals, you know what I'm saying, get everything like nice and tight. And then what he'll do, shoot the vocals to me. I'll update, if it's one of my beats that I produce, I update the beat around the vocals, you know what I'm saying? Giving, the artist like a custom, that custom sound. And then I shoot it back to him, and he'll go ahead and mix the vocals into the, the new beat, like blend them. And then from there, mix and master, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of like a system that we worked out, at least when it comes to my records. Like, when it comes to my records, like all vocals got to come back to me, just so therefore I can hear and update the beat around the vocals. You know what I mean? So we have like this cycle, and I think it's beautiful because he really enjoys the recording aspect of it. He's taken an extreme liking to that. and he does a good job at it. So for me, I know that I can definitely record somebody. And I was probably one of the people who kind of taught him at least the foundations to be able to record, because I spent a lot of time just doing it. So, at the end of the day, like, I think what it ended up doing was taking a load off my plate, because I would have been, and that was the thing about it too, like, I would be recording so much, I ain't had time to make beats. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, when you sit back and think about that, it's like, all right, like, this is perfect. This is like a perfect situation that we got. Like, you making, I can sit back, focus more on the making the beats and making the records the best that they can be. And he could focus on, getting and recording people and making sure that everybody sounding good. So it works out.
I had to ask the question because I think from a fan standpoint, it appears like he loves that part a lot. Like, he loves that part probably more than his fans do. Now, I'm not going to say more than artists do, because artists love to be in the studio with them. You know what I'm saying? But from a fan standpoint, like, sometimes it makes you like, dang, I'd rather have more music. But you know what I'm saying?
I mean, but I mean, and I think that that's the beauty of it, right? It's like, the fact that, okay, people are wanting, more music from them, I think that that's like a good thing. You know what I mean? It's great. Now, I feel people when they say, okay, yeah, let's, I'm ready for new music, but just because, just because he hasn't dropped any new music, don't mean he don't got any.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
And when the floodgates open, because I know what's on the other side of the floodgates, it's gonna be like insane, like, you know what I mean, and it's gonna be something that's worth the wait. Definitely worth the wait. You know what I'm saying? So so it's like, I guess, being able to have my perspective on the situation and understanding how people feel on the other side, it's dope, because I feel like, what we've been doing, like, over the past, because it's been about 3 years since we dropped, 2-3 years since we dropped. But I feel like once people get it, they gonna get it, and it's gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I get it, and to hear you say that, I'm like, cool. I'm all right with that. Like, I'm all right with you feeling that way.
I mean, it's all love. I mean, everyone I know thinks he's the greatest at that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to mixing and mastering a record, you know what I'm saying? And clearly he loves doing it. You know what I'm saying? We know that he got some stuff cooked up. It's just a matter of being curious about what the rollout's going to be and seeing it all come. You know what I'm saying? While we can enjoy it, particularly, ideally, I love to enjoy music in the summertime. Maybe we'll get a fall, winter. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know.
You never know. Like I said, but when it rains, it pours. That's all I'm gonna say. When it rains, it pours.
I got you.
And I feel like people are gonna be pleasantly just really good with what he delivers. And like I said, some of these records are gonna be records. And the reason why I know it's good is because some of these records that you all will be hearing soon, hopefully, are records that might be 2 years old.
Yeah.
But they're so solid.
Yeah.
That when you listen to it today, it's like, it's almost like it's like perfect. It's like a perfect alignment. So it's like, so it's cool. I'm excited about it. I definitely think that, the people who are waiting are definitely in for a legit solid treat.
We waiting, Mike. We waiting. You know what I'm saying? Waiting to see.
Let them know though. Like, let them know. Hop in his DMs, harass them. You know what I'm saying? I think if we harass them, you know what I mean? I think it might get we might get something a little bit quicker. But, okay. Harass them. You know what I'm saying? Tell them stop recording everybody.
Not a problem. Right. Not a problem. Yeah. But back to you. I just wanted to definitely highlight and touch on the fact that you guys got a beautiful thing because you are brothers, because you are family, you know what I'm saying? Because you are connected and everything that comes from you is quality. So I mean, it's worth highlighting. You don't always see a lot of that. I mean, you know, you do and you don't, but I mean, there's only one Michael Millions and one name brand in this area. So, you know what I'm saying? I think it's definitely worth its recognition. Producers Lounge is something that has really appeared to take off. I know sometimes I sign into the lives and I'm like, the engagement is just jumped. I mean, quite frankly, and I may be wrong, so I apologize if I am, but I see more engagement in the Producers Lounge through the Rap Elite platform sometimes than anything. You know, producers really be tapped in.
I mean, look, I think that the Producer Lounge has provided a space for producers just to be able to play their music. And, you know, of course, the Producer Lounge, it came about, you know, spawned through the pandemic, you know what I mean? As a way to kind of like, you know, initially it was just a way to kind of like keep RVA Rap Elite, like kind of the page going. And, you know, radio hit me up about hosting it. And I was like, cool, you know, like why not? Seemed like a cool thing for me to do. I was excited about it. Didn't really know what it would do, but it ended up really becoming this thing over the course of the year. And we did it, you know, we was consistent. And, you know, so were the people who pulled up. They were consistent. They would pull up every week, you know, every Thursday at 7:00. You know, they already knew what time it was. And like you said, you know, the engagement got better over the course of the year. And in May, pretty much what I did was, you know, because we had been doing it for a little while. My daughter was born March 28th. So I took pretty much the whole month of April off. And my thought was, like, how can I take, and when I say off, I wasn't doing any of the producer now. So that was like the very first real break that I had since we had started the Producer Lounge. So it was about a year. And then, but I knew when I came back, I was like, yo, this thing has potential to be like way bigger than what it is. You know, like it has the opportunity to really be, you know, insane, because during those weeks that I was off, you know, they was hit me up in my DMs like, yo, what's up? What's good with the Producer Lounge? What's going on? So in my mind, I'm like, yo, I need to, you know, figure this particular piece out, but at the same time, I'm gonna need help. So ultimately, I reached out to the consistent members of, you know, the consistent people who pulled up to the, you know, Producer Lounge, and now we kind of built like a nice little group, and you know, they're helping me kind of, you know, put the Producer Lounge in a better, you know, promote it in a better way. So we're about to start doing like live shows where it's just, you know, just the Producer Lounge, all beats, you know, trying to curate, you know, some really dope events for producer, because ultimately the whole purpose behind the Producer Lounge is to create opportunities for producers to either, you know, improve their skills, to showcase their talent, you know, to showcase their beats. And the thing about a Producer Lounge, it's not about, you know, playing, you know, just hip hop beats. You know, it's about production and everything, you know, in between. So any genre, you know, we're open to it. And that's the thing about it. And I feel like, you know, for a long time, I know when I started making beats when I was 13. So back in 1998, started making beats, you know what I mean? And back then there was no space for anybody, you know, for any producer to be able to kind of play their music. At least I didn't know, but I think today with technology, like now we got a kid, he's 14 now, you know, JT, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he's 14, you know, insane with it, but he pulls up every week and plays, you know, beats, you know what I mean? And so that's what I love about it, is that we've created a space that people and producers can call home, you know what I mean? So So yeah, I think, you know, the producer lounge is definitely growing. I'm excited about, you know, where we're headed, you know, with it. We got a lot of really fun, dope ideas, you know, that I think we're going to be trying to implement over the next, you know, 6 months, 6 to 12 months. So it's going to be really dope. Hopefully we can get this whole COVID thing in check. So therefore, when we want to do these live events, you know what I mean, everybody can really just enjoy themselves. But we want to bring some people to the city, do some real cool things.
Dope. So artists. You know what I'm saying? When the producer lounge, is it Tuesday night or Wednesday? It's Tuesday night.
Thursday
nights at 7:00.
7 o'clock.
7?
7. So every Thursday, 7 o'clock, vibes go down, supreme level. Follow _producer_lounge. Yeah. So every Thursday night, 7 o'clock.
Yo, I want to emphasize the fact that artists, you need to go through as well. If you know what I'm saying, you may catch a vibe that you want to engage with the producer on. So don't think that it's just producers in those chats, because I've been watching and sometimes I'm like, I just notice more people sometimes engage in that conversation than I do other conversations. And that says to me that not only are you attracting producers, but you're attracting artists, you're attracting all kinds of folks. You know what I'm saying? So it's a great collective there. Go try to snag you a name brand beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go try to snag it.
For sure.
All right. Let's talk about I want to stick with that a little bit. I want to piggyback off something you said too, though. Like, I mean, I think it's very commendable of you to say that, you know, the focus of your work has typically been around pushing our scene.
Mm-hmm.
Are there, I mean, and you've done a phenomenal job at that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Again, from the outside looking in, it's like hypothetically, if you had a manager, I'm sure they'd probably be trying to stretch you and push you, and you know, not to say that you don't do the same for yourself, but I just think that's very commendable that you've really kept your focus. I'm not saying completely narrow, because I'm not saying you said you'll engage things if it's the right opportunity. But with that being the case, are there any artists in the local scene, in the market here, that you haven't worked with that you desire? And you ain't got to say those names, or you can, but is it because, I mean, first off, I would, you know, your involvement with Troy's music helped me. When I saw that, it kind of took me to go say, well, let me see what this young kid about. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Troy.
Yeah.
I mean, like I haven't worked with everybody, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm definitely, I mean, some of the people who I would like to work with, and I'll name them, like I would love to work with like Sam Reed from a producer standpoint. I would love to work with DJ Harrison. Man, who else? I think Sam Reed, DJ Harrison. I'm drawing a blank, but it's like me and Fly Anakin. Like I don't think we've done a record. Well, we've done a record, but we haven't worked together. So I'd love to, you know, put some work in with him. Really, the whole Mutant Academy. I would love to like at least do some music with them. I fuck with them. I mean, again, like, and whoever else, whoever just rocks with what I do, you know, like, so yeah. I mean,
are you open to crossing over?
Say what?
Are you open to like crossover? Like, are you open to doing all kinds of music?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, if it's the right fit, like I you know, I think somebody would have to be, you know, coming to me understanding what I do, you know, first. You know, it's not like I'm just gonna go out and, do an EDM record, just because, somebody came along. I would hope that somebody would, do their research on me, understand what I do, and then kind of want me to like, implement some of their style, but as long as I can be me when it comes to producing a record, that's really all that matters. Because I think as producers, you want to be able to make something for your artists, but at the same time, you want to be you, you want to maintain, who you are as a producer and a sound. So as long as it makes sense, like,
you produce music for deep folks.
Oh yeah. See, I didn't mention him, but he was folks. We got a record like that I think is going to do very well. I'm looking forward to hearing that record, drop.
Because he has an ability to cross his music he's already shown it. Like his music, hard and cross seas.
Yeah, he's going crazy overseas. So shout out to D folks, man. Shout out to D folks.
I don't know if you got with his son. Was it Saint?
Nah, but that's another cat. Like who I feel like he's tapped in. Shout out to their whole family, because both of his sons, one of his sons played guitar. He played, I believe he played on the record that me and him did. Me and D folks did. I think he got his son to play some guitar on that record. But talented family. Like, to be just completely honest, just a talented family. Shout out to them. I mean, and both just creative too. Like they all are just like creative. I love that. I love that about your family.
So we were talking before the show. I know you was getting your workout on, and we were just talking about the whole COVID. I learned some things about you. What are things that, how I want to phrase this question? Because I learned that, I don't know the technical term of it, but you have a career that's transferable, somewhat compatible with what you do on the production side. It's technology, it's software. You probably can create an app that can do a bunch. I imagine like you got that type of brain. I'm going around the right path.
That's you're on the right path. So I mean, so on my day job, shout out to the day job. I have a legit career. So I got bachelor's from Norfolk State University. Shout out to my alma mater, Behold the Green and Gold. I have my master's in management information systems. And I guess for the past 10 years, I've been a software developer. So that's how I, the lights, these lights, that's how those lights be on. I mean, of course, the music does well. But honestly, that's what allows me to really kind of function the way that I function within the community. You know what I mean? Because I'm not really like, I guess, in the sense, every beat don't gotta make me $1. You know what I mean? So therefore that allows me to be able to work with artists, you know what I mean, or be able to do things, the way that I kind of, navigate, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm one of those type people that, I feel like when people be like, yo, you got to either do one or the other, I'll be like, why can't you do both? And that's kind of like how I've always kind of, navigated, my space. So that's why, I have a legit solid career, you know what I mean? I think, for me, it's one of those things. I'm proud of it. I know everybody in this space be like, yo, you gotta drop the 9 to 5. You can't have no plan B. Ain't no plan B out here. Nah. I mean, for real, like, reality is like we all gonna, prayfully we all get like 55, 60, 70. And, when you really want to retire, like, you know what I mean? I need to be able to do that, you know what I mean? So my whole thing is like, yo, I could do both. I've been doing both at a very high level, for the past, ever since I, graduated, you know what I mean? So I understand if people feel like they can't do a 9 to 5, you know what I mean? And to me, there's a difference between a 9 to 5 and a career too at the same time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a 9 to 5, some that might be, whatever. It might be, no shade to, McDonald's, or no shade to, whatever, Amazon, whatever you do for your 9 to 5, that's your 9 to 5. But I feel like, a career is a little bit different. You kind of, move different, when you kind of have a career going on. But at the same time, I love music. And I love the way that, I'm able to kind of navigate both spaces, both worlds. And again, the same brain that I use to write code and write, develop applications is the same brain that I use to make, music. It's all kind of like in a very similar space.
Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate that answer, because sometimes I feel like people try to put me in a box too. They'll get confused. I confuse people, and I don't know why they confused. It's not me. A lot of people's perception of me is confusing because they see me do different things in a lot of different ways. I know why they're confused. I just think they need to get over it, because they need to accept that that's just who I am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not
right.
That's not my problem. That's their problem. And yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. But I think the way you answer that question, I can definitely identify and relate with. I mean, even
it's a lot of people out here that I feel like are kind of like in this space, but they're a little bit apprehensive about saying that they're in this space, saying that they live this, because it's kind of like living a dual life.
You're
you know
right.
what I mean?
You're
like
right. They are.
And it's, to me, I love it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's one of those things that you just sit back and be like, yo, I could walk and chew gum too. You know what I mean? And reality for me is like, in order for me to make beats, you know what I mean, and be comfortable, you know what I mean, I can't be sitting there worried about like, how my light's gonna stay on, how I'm gonna get my next meal. Because once I start making beats to like, okay, this is my, I now I'm pressing people for pay me for my beats. Like, I ain't trying to be in that space. Like, you know what? Like, look, I'm gonna make my money. And whatever money I get through this music stuff is just like icing on the cake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I feel you. There's I can really identify and relate a lot. I don't think that people should be worried about it. Like, I counted up the money the other day that I put into podcasting. And it's not a lot of money, but it ain't a little. It depends on how you look at it. You know what I'm saying? It depends on how you look at it. It's a lot of money to me, but
none of this stuff is cheap. Like, none of this stuff, like any of the stuff that you see behind me, like none of this stuff comes cheap. Like, none of like what I live in, like my crib, is nothing is cheap. You know what I'm saying? So, it's funny because I'm a tourist, yo. So tourist is like, we like comfort, you know what I'm saying? Like, we enjoy our comfort, like good food, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I was dependent on these rappers to pay me for beats, like I wouldn't be able to find my comfort, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like, let me just be real. And let me just understand, like, yo, this is like what I gotta do in order to make sure that I'm in a position that I need to be in. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I can manage my own comfort. You know what I mean? I'm good. My wife's good. My daughter's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta do that for me. You know what I mean? So, and I hope I want people, like, I hope to inspire people to at least, because I'm a big, I'm big on education. You know what I'm saying? Like I know a lot of people don't really see the value in going to school, but for me, and I know for my wife, and I know, like, because she went to UNC Chapel Hill.
What?
You know what I mean?
Tar Heel? You know I'm from North Carolina, man. I'm a big Tar Heel fan, man. Look, I'm such a Tar Heel fan. I'm such a Tar Heel fan. I brag about the fact that I went to basketball camp there for like 6 summers.
For real, dog. Like, me, I'm just very much so like, I believe in education. I believe like when I graduated from, Norfolk State, I had, 2 job offers, you know what I mean? So it's like, yo, I don't look at school and be like, yo, it ain't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely, and when I got my master's degree, like a month later, I had a new job doing a whole new career. You know what I mean? So every time, I utilized my degree or I got a new degree, it put me in a better position. So I'm not the type of person that looks at education and, feel a way about it. You know what I mean? Or had that jaded feeling like I went to college and, all I got is debt. I don't feel, necessarily like that. But I understand that there's a lot of people out there like that. So I can empathize with it. But that's just not my story. So I do I believe in, education and higher education for sure.
Have you ever thought about, the same entrepreneurial skill set in mind that you have when it comes to being a producer and, overseeing a label? Did you ever think about applying that to your software development skills? Because you could go out here and code and freelance and do that as well.
Yeah, it was.
Did you ever think about taking that path?
Nah, I mean, cause see, here's the thing about coding, and this is one thing, anybody can code. Like you can go on to YouTube and learn how to code. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing that I'll say about people, or I'll say about developers, is that the good ones are passionate about it. You have to be passionate about, software development. And those are the ones who go out there and start up their own companies and, and kind of want to go and kind of do the entrepreneur side of development as opposed to working with a company. For me, it was more so of like, I've learned over the past 10 years that I'm far more passionate about music. Music is my passion. Development is something that I'm really good at doing. But what I'm really, really good at doing outside of that is managing, people, managing and working with people. So that's what I've kind of learned. And, I'm kind of like at this point in my career, from a development side to where it's like, okay, I'm good with the coding aspect of it. I much rather, manage and, manage developers. If I'm, that's kind of like where I'm headed at in my career at this particular point. But, as far as, really taking it on and, starting to develop, as a business on the side, it's something I could do, but it's just, I got plenty of other things that I need to be focused on besides trying to write somebody's app on my off time, because it's time consuming. It takes a lot of time.
I had to ask because, well, I wanted to also showcase. I think every time I have a conversation with someone publicly, I want to find a way to segue in an opportunity for people's perception to change. Because a lot of people don't know that part about you. There are a lot of people that within our network of folks who know you on the music side, they not focused on the other side. You know what I'm saying? And if they knew about it, they'd probably be tapping in trying to say, yo, your brand, can you help me develop this app for my my music? So I just think it's good to be able to showcase anytime that, you know what I'm saying, the producer, the husband, the father, you know what I'm saying, the brother, you know what I'm saying, the businessman. There's a lot of facets to folks, not just what they see. So appreciate you, sharing that part too.
Yeah, absolutely. For real, dog, like, because it's one of those things where I just feel like it'll be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want nobody to come to my house and be like, yo, you got this off making beats. Like, and then for me to be like, yo, nah, I'm not gonna tell you this gym. Like, yo, nah, look, dog, go go to school, get your education.
Yeah.
And if you bout it, go get your master's degree. But get your education. And this is what I'll tell people. I hope if there's any youngins out there, like, yo, go to school, get your degree in something STEM related. That's science, technology, engineering, or math. Like, get your degree in something around that. And if you really are good, go back, get your master's degree, or go get you some certs. Whichever one, do it. You'll be straight out here for sure. Yeah. But that's my whole thing. I couldn't. There's no way that I could like have an opportunity to tell somebody how I did it and then choose to like just be like, yeah, I made it off of music. Nah, my G, like, nah. This is like legit.
I think you really just gave a bar right there. You NameBrand is teaching you young folks how to give your name a brand by putting, you know what I'm saying, the education and the tools and resources around you so that you can flourish. It's really a bar within that. And you know what? I'm gonna cut that up for some of these young people too, because they may listen to it coming from you more than they may listen to it coming from their parents or someone else. See, being the father, man, you're already talking like an old man, Brand. You ain't even that old, man.
I mean, look, dog. All I'm saying is, I shout out to my pops. Like, I had my pops. He showed us a lot of ways to get it out here. You know what I mean? So I was blessed to be able to kind of learn from a real, true, OG when it comes to like getting it, and he did it the solid way. So for real, he dropped gems. I look forward to dropping gems to my daughter. But in the meantime, there's a lot of kids out here that like I said, I think a lot of people are jaded on the education route. You know what I mean? They jaded when it comes to like school. And I get it because it's expensive. Like, I didn't pay for my master's. My company paid for my master's. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, so I get it. I get that. I understand that. I understand it. But for real, if you can get it, and you can get scholarships and grants and all these different things to be able to go to school, do it. But just make sure when you in that school, you majored in the right thing, and you take it seriously. Like, have your fun, but take it seriously. Yeah. The opportunity is there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. All right, I got this question. I've always wanted to ask this question. It's a little nosy, a little bit, but I want to make sure I'm clear with something. Purple Republic Music Group, AGM, these are two separate entities.
Yeah.
Purple Republic Music Group is you and Mike.
Yeah, me, Mike, and my cousins, Jordan and Melvin, and James.
I don't know them, I don't guess.
Well, hard work. I said James, but hard work. Yeah, you probably don't know Jordan. Well, you might know Jordan. Jordan, he usually be on stage. You probably seen Melvin on stage too at Flag on the Moon or something like that.
Okay.
And James, you probably seen them all at one point in time.
Okay. Just to put them together.
But yeah, they kind of like, they're more behind the scenes, you know what I mean? But yeah, the face of Purple Republic is me and Mike.
Okay. AGM, you, Nick, Radio, and Mike.
And yeah, so we're more like, again, like the face of AGM, but you also got Frank, Dinez, Monse. Frank, Dinez, and Monse. I think I'm not forgetting nobody. Yeah, Frank, Dinez, and Monse. So yeah,
I don't know Monse personally, but I know who he is because there's an artist that I mean, if you engage with the music scene, and you've been around long enough, you should know who he is. You know what I'm saying? There's an artist that I've seen him do work with who used to be in Richmond. I think she's in LA now. I think it's Cheyenne. I don't know if I'm
Cheyenne Levine. Yeah.
Yo, I'm a real fan of her music though.
She's super dope.
I'm a real fan of her music. And so that's but so it's like, to me, it's like, is Issa Leo and Cole Hicks like honorary like associates of AGM, but they not part of AGM? Because I've always looked at them as affiliates, but they're not with it. That's my nosiness question.
I guess you would. You was probably consider them affiliates, but like we got this one chat. Like, think about them as late bloomers, like the late bloomers. Like, so that's a whole nother thing too, which is consistent of me, Mike, Radio, Nick, Gallo, Cole, Ease. So that's kind of like the late bloomers club, over there that we kind of got. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like our daily chat, like for real. That's a chat that we all be in. But as far as AGM, yeah, when AGM was started, those are the people that was in the room. Like, so it was me, Mike, Monse, Radio, Nick, Frank, Inez, you know what I mean? So that's AGM, you know what I mean?
You guys looking to expand?
I don't know, because it's funny because because Radio, he just got married, so it's like, we all were kind of together, and when you just see us all together, it's like, it's really just the bunch of homies, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't even know. It'll probably be awkward for somebody to be inducted into it, just because of like just the history between everybody. It's just different, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we could if we wanted to, but it's not something that's been on like the forefront of our minds. It's like we all got so much stuff going on. AGM is the homies, you know what I mean? And,
I got you. I'm looking at the Purple Republic hat. I see the AGM hat in the back. Both of them are quality brands, but I have to say I like the style of the Purple Republic hat better. I mean,
shout out to my wife. She designed it.
I'm saying it because if you got the merch in store, that's a hat I buy. I like. Well, first off, it's probably because it's got the R and the R and the P look like R. I got a W. I buy hats I feel like that I can own signature wise myself.
Right.
I bought this hat, what I'm saying, for what you need, but it's got the W, and I think that explains itself. So that Purple Republic hat, it kind of talks to me a little bit, man.
Yeah, shout out to my wife. She designed the logo. Shout out to my hard work. We'll be getting the hats and all that stuff done up for us. We're trying to, get the merch set up real soon. So he's been handling that particular piece down there in North Carolina. So yeah.
Let me know, man. I'm all about getting new merch, man. So let me know, man. Definitely wouldn't mind getting one of. I definitely wouldn't mind getting one of them hats though. Wanna know and wanna support. And I don't like using the word support. I mean, that sounds like you're doing a favor for somebody. No, I mean, like, me is I want to invest. It's valuable. I want to purchase. I want to, acquire what I can add value to, what I'm saying, my brand. And it ain't so much the Randy Wilson podcast, but when you walk around, you care about what you look like, or most people do. You know what I'm saying? And people ask, if someone see that PR, I see the P and the R because I understand, but I can own that R, and I go like, it's a great conversation starter. So,
facts.
All right, fourth quarter swing, man. I'm about to roll out a bunch of random questions to you, man. It's kind of how we close, and I'm not really thinking. I'm just asking questions. I don't know how many I'm gonna ask, but I'm gonna like unleash the gun and just ask all the random questions that kind of come to my mind. All right,
go for it.
You watch basketball?
Yeah.
Was this not one of the worst playoffs and finals in our lifetime?
No,
it
wasn't.
Let me. Who?
It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst, but and at the same time, I couldn't tell you what the worst was.
Well, I mean,
but you got to understand.
We've seen. We've seen LeBron for so long, and we've seen Kobe for so long, and I ignored Duncan, but we know he had his time.
That's the thing. I'm a Spurs fan. You ignored Duncan. See, that's the problem right there. That's a problem right there. You ignored one of the greatest dynasties out there in the Spurs, man. And the reason why I bring up the Spurs, because that's my squad. Two, like I love the fact that we had two relatively small market teams duking it out in the finals. Like, I love that, because one is like, we need to like really, in order for the game to remain like entertaining, you gotta have like the Utah Jazzes. You gotta have the Spurs. You gotta have a Milwaukee and a Phoenix out there that could take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that keeps it entertaining. Like keeps the. I think it might suck because we had like I guess two relatively small market teams in the final, but I think it's good for the game. I think like you really need. You need that. You need that. So would I say it's the worst? Nah, I feel like, it was something that was needed for the game of basketball. And then hopefully, we'll get some more, diversity when it comes to like, who goes to what team, because, we all see everybody be trying to go to the big market teams, the Knicks, Lakers, Chicago, the big market teams. And they don't be, thinking that they can win it in these small markets. So we need a finals like this to show like, these small market teams out here can ball, of course, and they can win a chip. Like,
yeah,
so
man, I agree with all that. I think the injuries hurt it a little bit though. There's so many injuries this year, man.
It was.
It's the first time in my life that I missed a championship game. I was at Tuesday versus, I think, that night. Like, it's the first time in my life.
I missed it too. I missed it too. Like, I missed it too. Like, I ain't gonna front.
I ain't never missed a chance. I ain't never missed a game. Like, I don't know if people can tell, because a lot of time I'll do a bunch of podcasts and I'll just kind of slowly release them all at one time. Like, I don't mean sitting down every week, but I didn't do a podcast during the playoffs much. I mean, I did some, but it was like very, very few.
Right.
Because I was so caught up in the playoffs, and
right.
Yeah, but much respect and love to my Los Angeles Lakers and my Charlotte Hornets. That's the teams I rock with hardcore.
Okay.
Honorable mentions. We'll see what happens next year. As long as the Hornets or the Lakers is in the good space, that's all I care. I like good basketball though.
I feel that.
So, RVA Rap Elite, World MC. We've seen RVA Rap Elite kind of merge into collaborate with World MC. It's definitely brought some good momentum and some eyes to the Virginia, Richmond scene. I would say Virginia because, shout out to RVA Rap Elite. They've done a good job at reaching out throughout the whole state to build a platform. What do you see, like, from your perspective, what do you see as the... I'm getting the perspective of NameBrand on the market here, but what do you see as the potential of RVA Rap Elite? I'm not saying long term, because I think the long term, the sky's the limit. I guess the question is, how far do you see us connecting with the clouds? Like, what I'm saying? Like, where do you see the high potential on the short end? I don't want to talk about the long end. Like, do you think within 3 to 6 months, with the momentum that's happening in the city, with seeing our artists jumping on the World MC platform, what do you see that could be like an eye opener for the brand?
I mean, well, one, I think the brand, even in this current state right now, it's evolving. So I feel like we're fine-tuning the live shows for RVA Rap Elite, just to kind of make it a better experience for the people who show up. For instance, we're now doing the producer lounge at the beginning of the show now. So we're adding the producers producers are getting more involved with that, which just makes complete and total sense. To have producers and rappers all in the same building, and then everybody kind of showcasing their talent at the same time. So I know we're doing things just to just to continue to evolve the show. So in the short term, I just think, we're focused more so on getting the engagement. And I think doing what we're doing with World MC is definitely helping out as far as like getting it out there, getting RVA Rap Elite seen by more people than just people in Richmond. And hopefully, like I said, within the next, 3 to 6 months or 3 to 4 months, attendance, at the shows continue to go up. And like I said, we can't act like we're not in this COVID pandemic world. So it bar, any type of pullback as far as like, shutdowns and stuff like that. We just gonna continue to do what we can do to bring, get people familiar with the platform, get people engaged on the platform, continue to grow it like we've been doing.
We've seen some talent come through Rap Elite. We've seen some talent evolve in Rap Elite.
Yeah. That's how I found Troy.
Say that again. That's how you found Troy?
Rap Elite.
Wow. I kind of think that we got some I don't know if we want to say it. First off, I think the word OG is being misused a lot in our community. Can I just say that? And sure. Why I say that is because I just feel like when I was coming up, OG had it meant something from the standpoint of having. It didn't mean just because you was older than someone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And I think that's where it's getting twitched up a little bit. But I think we got some OGs, and I think we got some seasoned artists that, truthfully, and I can say this because I'm not a rapper. Like I'm gonna answer it like you did though. But I do think if I chose to put a little concentration and focus to it, I could probably score 24, 23 on the thing. I might. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, because I'm a low key A&R guy that knows. I mean, we competing in this rap. I know I know talent. That's all. I know talent.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that, you know what I'm saying, you might get a 26, 27, you know what I'm saying? But I can get a 23, 24 if one of my guys drop out. But nevertheless, I'm going to be real, man. I honestly, as a critic, that's the lane I stay in, right? I stay in this critic.
Right.
I don't think, I think we got some OGs and some seasoned artists that really don't want to smoke with some of the folks who's evolving through the Rap Elite platform. And I say that because these guys are challenging their pen. They're challenging themselves month in, month out. And sometimes I sit back and I'm like, yo, I would really like to see this artist and this artist put themselves in the wing. But I feel like because of ego and I think because of competition, I don't think everyone ain't in for competition. Like everyone ain't a battle rapper. Some people make songs. So you got to put people in the right space. But we just talking about a cipher, man. I'm just talking about the cipher. It used to be that the cipher could occur anywhere, anytime. When Rap Elite made the cipher a public forum, there's artists that just don't choose to get in that arena. And again, that pisses me off from a fan standpoint, from a critic standpoint, because I want to see the best come out of everybody. Any thoughts? Any commentary? What's your take on that?
So and I'll just keep my take more, I guess, personal to me, and I guess because I know me, like I'm not really like this OD competitive dude, so I think that's one thing about the producer lounge, that I love is that it's created around just playing music and not being competitive. You know what I'm saying? Like there's enough spaces out here for like beat battles, you know what I mean? There's enough spaces out here that, that promote that competitive, space, but I think with the producer lounge, it's really more so just about, pulling up and just playing, dope beats. You know what I'm saying? But
the cipher, we're talking about the cipher, like the cipher don't have to be competitive. I mean, it's like the verses. It's a celebration. It's competitive for the GMs.
I guess maybe that's what it is. But I think, like, again, for me, like, like, for me, like, I'm not the type of person. I don't make beats for battles, right? Like, that's not my thing. Like, I don't make beats to, like, be put into, like, I guess a cipher and for it to be judged. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, this is my art. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily something that it's like, oh yeah, I don't like when, like, battle beats are different than just, creating a beat. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, the whole mindset of how you make the beat is completely different. And your approach is different. And I know that that's not how I approach my music. So I know, like, the competitive space or like a battle or, like, even if it's just like a cipher in a sense, it's like, the one thing I wouldn't want is somebody trying to tell me, like, my beat isn't good. Like, you know what I mean? Because, one, I didn't make it for you. Like, I didn't make it, especially another producer trying to tell me, or another artist, anybody trying to tell me, like, yeah, that beat was trash. Like, or that beat this beat was better than that beat. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, for me, like, I don't make it for that. I don't make my beats to be, put out in that particular space to be critiqued by somebody who's not qualified to critique it. You know what I mean? Like, that beat that I create is one, it's like, I look at them as all, like, they all my kids, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I made it for a reason, you know what I mean? I made it for a reason. This beat means something to me. It might not mean nothing to you, and that's perfectly fine. But it has the potential out there to find a home with somebody who's gonna, really, it's gonna speak to that particular person in such a way that they're gonna write the best song of their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually have I actually joined in onto this, like, this little beat thing, and I sent up a beat, and I literally made that beat while I was watching the little live set. And when I did it, they I kind of, they kind of critiqued the beat, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I feel that, but my whole thing is, it's like, that beat that I made ended up being a record on Junie Mac's project. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you critiqued it and you said that it could have been better, whatever the case may have been. But it's like, yo, I didn't send the beat to you for you to critique it. I sent the beat to you just to listen. And that's why, again, I'll be like, see, this is why the producer lounge is what it is. It's like, yo, you can send a beat. Nobody's going to critique it. They're just going to enjoy the vibe of it. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is, like, that same beat that this person said, oh, yeah, it could have been better, or the drums could have been this, whoop-de-whoop. That ended up being a whole song. That ended up, on an album that, people are saying could be the album of the year in Richmond. You know what I'm saying? So, that's my whole thing. Like, when it comes to, like, critiquing people's art like that, it's like, I prefer not to do it, because you never know what could be that crazy record. You know what I mean? And you never know you critique this one person on this particular beat, and you never know how that might affect that particular person. You know what I mean? Like, so that beat might never get heard.
So
you know what I mean?
You don't like being the judge, I guess. You don't. That's not a position you're here to play.
Yeah, that's not what I'm here for. Like, I'm here to encourage and empower people. You know what I mean? Just to keep going. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of people.
Trained, brother. I'm gonna tell you what. You are a professional. You media trained, because you answered that question politically correct, sticking to the beats, and that's cool. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. But with Rap Elite, it's about bars in the cipher,
right?
And I don't. I think that.
But imagine if, like, let's say, a Fly Anakin or somebody hops up in the cipher, right? And they wrote their bars, right? and then they get their scores is like a 16 or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things. Like, you know, like.
Yo, labels conceal more than they reveal, though, man. I mean, the thing is, anybody can have a bad night. Anybody can get a bad score. The score don't have to completely define them. But
yeah, I feel that.
But the heat and the pressure of competition is what can draw the best out of people. There's a lot to gain and learn through that process. And we won't, like Cheat said, we won't the ballers to come to Rucker Park. You know what I'm saying? When Cole got into I was really happy about that. When Chance Fisher got into it, I was really happy about that. Bravo, I was really happy about that. I want to see more names. You know what I'm saying? I want to see more brands come into the cipher. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because that's what we want. You know what I'm saying? It's only 30 songs. And for real, when that happens, rapidly can go develop a development league, a G League. You know what I'm saying? Right. To provide mentoring and coaching and guidance for all these. You know what I'm saying? Bring your bars. That's what we want. Hey, numbers gonna go up. Numbers gonna go up.
Listen, I ain't mad at it. I feel you. I'm just giving you perspective on why somebody might not, you know, pursue that, just because that's just not how they choose to handle their
politically correct, Brand. You being media trained. You ain't saying it because they scared they might get eat up. And I think, you know what I'm saying, you used the word community before. I'm really about community. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that people have this issue talking about the competition piece, right? I think that, first off, your perspective is I'm not talking about you in general, a person. Mm-hmm. Perspective is perspective per starts. So it's like it's owned by the person. Fair.
Yes.
But I think where people and their ego come into play, they don't like to be evaluated by people. Like at the end of the day, like everyone isn't a peer. You know what I'm saying? But in your mind, you may consider them a peer. So you live in the same city. You know that a radio, a Nick, or whomever's judging is accessible and within reach. You can see them out, and you have problem with them judging you. I think that is a problem that they have. But I think I believe in crediting and empowering and saluting the brothers for creating the platform to have the position to determine that. Because if you got a problem by being evaluated, then go create your own platform and go to your own to create your own thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm all for it. I'm just trying to get under some people's skin to some degree so that they can jump on the stage and like, yo, do like Cole did. Go in there and get a 28, 29, whatever. She got a real high score. She knew.
Yo, Cole is insane with it.
She didn't but
see, that's in Cole DNA though. That's what you gotta understand. That's like through and through Cole's DNA. So it's like her getting up there doing that. That's like her riding a bike. You know what I'm saying? Like
she ain't bothered by. I don't know her on a personal level like that, but I'm glad she did what she did. She did it from what I understand under the weather.
Yeah, she's insane with it. She's insane with it. Like you like. Don't nobody really understand, like, how crazy she is with it, so she's wild. Like, so her doing that is really like nothing. Like, it's like you said, she was sick while she was doing it. She wasn't feeling well. I think she made it to the sudden death, but she was feeling so bad that she just didn't show up, but she still scored crazy during that episode. So yeah, like she's insane. So like, again, her doing that, like, is exactly, it's par for the course. Like, it's
Brand, we got to pull them out though. We got to pull them out though. We need to pull.
Who you want to get pulled down? Why don't you call some names, man? So I can know who Randy Wilson want in the site.
Hey, we're gonna save that because we need to go. We can go IG live and talk about that this week. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to talk. We got to talk about Rap League. We at the halfway mark, so let's save that. Plus, if I told you, and hypothetically, one of my people dropped out, then I wouldn't be able to go recruit them. But I don't even think I'd be able to go recruit them anyway because I don't think that they want to do it. Like, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. That's a whole nother thing, though, man.
I feel that. I feel that. I mean, but you know, maybe I can help. Well, I can't. Well, since I'm a GM and you a GM, like I guess I couldn't really help you out, huh? But damn, like
no, we help each other out by truthfully though having a conversation, because I mean, hey, if we had the conversation, we made progress. I'm not trying to be what hip hop correct. If I don't know, there's no such thing. Like, let a ball. I'm saying that I think there's some MCs out there that should do it for the fun, for the love of it. You ain't doing nothing anyway else. Like, what? Go rap. Go. That's all I'm saying. What Will Young say? Just rap better. I don't know what the shirt say. It's something like that. Just rap.
Yeah, just rap better. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry we said that for a minute, man. I had some feelings around that, but
I see you. I peeped.
So yo, young brand. I'm not talking about, daddy brand. I know you married. I ain't trying. I'm talking about childhood young brand. Who was your celebrity crush?
Man, my celebrity crushes. I mean, my wife knows, like Nia Long, Sanaa Lathan's. You leave it with, I'm cool with just them two. I'm not like classic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the classic joints. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing too crazy out here. Like, you know what I mean? Wifey knows.
Yeah. Yo, when I ask that question, I got to emphasize celebrity, though, because sometimes people be thinking like, yo, I'm not talking about the girl that went to Huguenot. I ain't talking about the
no.
I gotta say celebrity.
Solid.
Chicken or fish?
Ooh. I have to say fish, because I make a mean snapper, dog, like on the grill.
I know we talked about that one time, man. You might have to cook off sometime, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's funny. Like I don't even order chicken out. I don't do chicken a lot, unless if I'm cooking it on the grill.
Yeah.
But definitely, it's the fish, the grill snapper. Me and my wife, we love seafood. You know what I'm saying? So we like crabs and all that jazz.
Same here. All right. Name an artist that you feel like that's got lots of potential that people may not be focused on right yet in the Richmond market, but they need to be prepared for.
I mean, man,
I would say just one. Mm-hmm.
If it ain't my brother, I would be like Troy.
Your brother's the obvious one, though. I mean, they know Troy. They know, everybody know your brother, man. Your brother opened up Nas. Come on, man. Your brother opened up a Nas. Your brother got music with DJ Green Lantern. Your brother has produced Skills. He's mixed and mastered and done a lot of work with Skills. Like, your brother is a fixture at this point.
I got the name.
He got music from D'Angelo.
He does. No, shout out to D'Angelo for clearing that sample too. I actually made that beat, but shout out to D'Angelo for clearing that joint, because I definitely thought we were lining up for a lawsuit for sure. But shout out to D'Angelo for clearing that sample.
That's dope.
Supreme levels. That's love. That was love for sure. But yeah, it would be like Troy, Junie Mac. Those be my two, and not because I got albums with them, but because it's one thing to like do an album for somebody, right? And they put the album out, and then they really don't do nothing to support it. But it's a whole nother thing when you work with somebody and they put the album out, and then they got the videos lined up, they got nice rollouts. So that's what I've really been appreciative about, Troy, for sure. Like the way he just approaches his music is solid. He got a plan, he executes. So yeah, I definitely feel like if you ain't tuned in with him, like you sleeping, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. I recognize, particularly when you talk about rollout, I like what the young man Smith Knight has done with rolling out his music.
Oh yeah, Smith Knight. Oh yeah,
the music rollout, particularly part of it. I like how he's delivered and rolled things out. He and I are supposed to got. I apologize to everybody who I haven't got back with. People be like, "Yo, I got I this is a part time thing." You know what I'm saying? Like, you think I bought all this alcohol back here with podcast money? Man, I'm drinking. I'm drinking.
You feel?
I'm tore up, man. Like, these conversations, and I'm not even drinking at night, are the most functional conversations I'm gonna have after 5. You know what I'm saying? So, like, gotta work with me, be patient, man. I also believe conversations only get better through time because we get more experience. That's what they say about music. You know, so you got to live to have conversations. So
yep. But Smith Knight is oh man, I love what those kids are doing. Like, I mean, I had him over. I did one record on his project, Graduation Day. That joint, dope record. And that kid is like a star. I feel like he's a star. He's a star. I believe in everything that he got going on. Shout out to the kids at Play. I love how they're approaching the music. It reminds me of, ourselves back in that day, but they just got so much more resources, you know what I mean? And they're using it. They're utilizing their resources like geniuses, so I love what they're doing. I love what they got going on. They got the live shows that they're doing, that they're throwing themselves, I need to, pull up to one of them, but I just love the energy that they're providing the city. And
they definitely doing their thing. Yo, who inspired you? Like, who was your inspirations, like, from the music standpoint?
So my favorite producer is Dr. Dre. So that's like number one. And then everybody else after that are like Virginia producers. So then you go down to the Pharrells, Timberland, Neptunes, Bink, Knots, Virginia Beach, Teddy Riley, you know what I'm saying? Like, all these, and then of course, the Yays, but, for the most part, it's definitely, Dr. Dre, and then, a host of Virginia producers. High Tech. Well, I know he's not from Virginia, but High Tech is another, producer that I really, I love. Of course, Dilla. But yeah, Virginia, I just think, who?
You know Raja from out of Suffolk, High Def Raja on IG?
Yeah, I've heard him. I don't know him like personally, but I've heard him.
Yeah, I interviewed him one time, and he was actually the artist. He was actually the producer I was referring to earlier because, I mean, the one thing that I feel like he's done that deserves is something. It's a model. I look at as an example. It's like he got records with Ferg, Ray Strumman, Mike Will made it, and probably other people, but like he's got his music placed on 2K video games, like, so like that's a whole new outlet for money. That's a whole new situation.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
That is.
And he got gold records. You might have a platinum record. So I was like, that's a model for somebody to follow, man. You know what I'm saying? Just figure out what transfers over to, another medium. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's video games, commercials, radio, whatever. Figure that out and follow that model, because all you need is one good bag to give you the opportunity to go in the directions that you want to go. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good brother to collaborate with, though, or kind of network with, and
put me in contact, man.
I definitely can, because I believe first off, let me just say this. Nick is in my top 5 favorite artists. He's in my personal top 5. And yeah, I mean, he is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just hands
That's
down.
dope.
That's my personal top 5. And for a lot of different reasons. But I think the bars, I think the creativity behind his music and the stories that he tell, I can really identify with, and in the different states of mind that I approach listening to music. And sometimes I feel
Right.
like it's just like it's a moment. It's a moment that I can share and I can appreciate. It may not be the current moment of where I'm at, but I've been there or at some point.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, but the thing that I think about, like, and Nick can make Nick or Mike, either one of them could make a record that could go. It's just a matter of what path it takes. But I strongly believe with your production that strategically it's just a matter if it's in the right person's hands at the right time and the right song and the right way. Like Junie Mac's project is an example of that. That music just needs to sit with. It just needs to season for a while. You know what I'm saying? And if it gets to going around, that's gone. That project, and he's already shown the ability to do it. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah. But I would love to see you. I would love to see your music. You know what I'm saying? Get into somebody's hands that's already shown the proof of being knowing how to make a hit. You know what I'm saying? Because I think you know how to
Right.
make. I think you know how to make a hit. Can someone carry it? Is the question. Can they complement it? You know?
Yeah, I mean, and again, like I said, I'm open to those opportunities, for sure. There are some opportunities that are currently kind of in the works that kind of put me in that space.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, these potential opportunities work out, and I have the opportunity to maybe, be on somebody's, video game or something like that. But,
We speaking it, man.
again,
We speaking it out there.
yeah, we gotta speak that energy into it. You know what I mean? So hopefully, that works out. You know what I mean? But we got a couple, like I said, I got a couple opportunities out there, and like, and that's the thing about it. Like, I don't really pursue it, but when they come, it always seems like the situation is right. You know what I mean? And it kind of comes, and it always presents itself to me. You know what I mean? So and maybe if I went out and really like pursued it on my own, maybe I would probably be a lot more successful in that regard. But again, I enjoy the lane that I'm in. I enjoy where I'm at. I don't, again, like I got a full career. You know what I mean? I'm doing what I'm able to do within the community space, and continue to build up the culture, the music culture here in Richmond. And for me right now, that's cool. Any additional, opportunities that come, that's just a blessing. But I would like to be, remembered as, the producer that, just kind of, helped out, and help continue to push the music, scene here forward. You know what I mean? And that means a lot. That would mean a lot to me than, any other kind of opportunity. But as long as people can remember me as that, I think that would be super dope.
But bro, they are. You know what I'm saying? You're establishing a legacy for sure, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just look at all the music that you've been a part of and all the people that the music has touched. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, the producers, the DJs, the podcasters, the videographers, the people who complement the culture don't always get that recognition. But it's important that in any opportunity I get to highlight that or to showcase that, I want to do that. And you know what I'm saying, you are arguably, perspective, right? We always say that, but you're arguably the producer, you know what I'm saying, for our market. You know what I'm saying? Your brother is arguably the mixer. And it don't even sound like, because he is. I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody else, but it's like, you know what I'm saying, you guys have separated yourself. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the producers out there. You know what I'm saying? I could keep going, and I don't want to miss any names. The Mentos, the Young Lands, you know what I'm saying? There's just so many people out there who's doing phenomenal work. Yellow House, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody, you know what I'm saying? I like to represent. I'm definitely for the bars, but I definitely want to make sure that we represent on the podcast, the trap scene, all scenes of the music in Richmond. I'm hopeful one day. I have a dream that all these are going to come together for one big, you know what I'm saying, nice collective event. You know what I'm saying? We need our own festival. You know what I'm saying? We need it. We need our own festival where we bring all this good music together. And I'm not talking about the folk festival. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, we need a cultural experience that covers the whole facet of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel like that's what we're doing. I feel like what we're doing now is definitely planting the seeds for that type of thing to happen. So hopefully, you know what I mean, we're able to continue to build both, you know, platforms, because, you know, the RVA Rap Elite and Producer Lounge, you know what I mean, it all kind of goes into supporting, you know, that overall music community, you know what I mean? So hopefully, you know, through that, we can bring everybody together, so therefore we can have these types of festivals.
Yo, it might be called something in the field, man. Richmond could get mad. They'll have it in North Chesterfield. It might be something.
Right, have it. Yo, but for sure. That's where I'm at. Shout out to North Chesterfield, man.
Real talk. I am too. Real talk. You know, Chesterfield more black than Richmond now. A lot of people don't know that.
Yo,
there's more black people up in Chesterfield than in Richmond.
Yo, people be sleeping on good old North Chesterfield.
Hey, we must. So since we neighbors, man, we got to connect and talk about that cook off, man. Because I ain't gonna mess with you on the snapper on the grill. I ain't never tried that. But the things I do well. There's a lot of things I don't do. Like I don't put it this way, I can do anything, but I don't claim everything. So I'm not gonna sit here and compete with you on the ribs. Like I know people who smoke, and they you know what I'm saying, they move stuff around. They got the wood.
Yeah. See, that's me.
Got it all. I ain't got all of that.
That's me out there. That's me out there.
I ain't got all that, but I can definitely have you leaving a cookout being like, yo, I didn't know you know what I'm saying? That's pretty good. But more than that, I'm gonna tell you what, man, my customer service around the grill was impeccable, man. You know why? Hey, I'm gonna make you that drink though. I'm gonna set you right.
And that's what matters, dog. Yeah. That's what matters.
But even if you didn't like the food, you're gonna be walking away like,
the drinks though.
I enjoyed myself. You know what I'm saying?
I had a good time.
That's all that matters.
I had a good time.
NameBrand, before we close out, man, first off, thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
Hey, man, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
I don't want to be done. I don't want to be done though. Like, we can make something happen. First off, we don't live far, so we can make something happen. Yeah, I didn't know we live close, so we can make something happen. I'm interested in creating an experience. I got a bucket list started for me to get all y'all in the same place though. So, you know what I'm saying? If you can conceptualize and figure out how to put that out there. I've already said it a few times. Ain't nobody listening to me though, man. So they might listen to you. You know what I'm saying? So
well, we can figure it out, man.
Put it out there, man. But before we go, last question, man. Can you let the people know why they should rock with the Randy Wilson podcast? For those who don't know.
Yeah. So look, man, you should rock with the Randy Wilson podcast because one, he does his homework. He's giving you solid interviews. He's not asking you no BS questions. He gets to the good questions that's going to get some really good answers to keep the interview going. And he does it for the community, man. He's talking to the right people. I'm definitely one of those people who hit him up in the DMs, be like, yo, that was a dope interview. And I watched his interviews get better since he's been doing it. What we on 79 now, episode 79.
Yep.
So, you know, for him to grow over these 79 episodes to, you know, to what he's doing now, when you think about the people who he's worked with, he's not, you know, just interviewing just anybody. But I think you should definitely tune in. Make sure you follow this man, and follow his platform and stay tuned to what he got going on. So yeah, shout out to Randy Wilson.
Appreciate you, brother, very much. Appreciate you. If you got any suggestions on some folks who you would think would be a good guest on the show, feel free to let me know.
Sure.
Again, before we leave, remember you can check this podcast everywhere podcasts are played, but I would suggest you go to YouTube or randywilsonpodcast.com. And yo, when we close, man, stay on the live because I got a couple questions I'm gonna ask you, but
sure.
We'll be dropping this very soon. So and anticipate more shows because I kind of have been relaxing lately because of the playoffs, but I'm about to ramp up a little bit here. And so I hope that I can satisfy you all's interest. But appreciate you, Brand. Stay on,
no doubt, bro.
And we'll see you all next time.
Peace.